Let's talk some sports, baby.
And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.
All right, so I'm finished off with rapid reaction. A lot of topics, a little bit of time. You got it, Jay.
Here we go. In regards to the quarterback position, Bears general manager Ryan Pace says everything is on the table. Well, apparently not, because Ryan Pace still has his job. So where should the Bears go from here at quarterback, Trent?
Well, I think you answered the question. First, you fire the GM. But for quarterback, you well, you know what I'm saying, you go to the draft. Now that might be a little hard to go to the draft if you fire the GM, but sometimes you gotta cut the head off the snake. So go to the draft, get you a quarterback. Stop messing around with these. I don't want no more Nick Foles, no one that go get you start off fresh. And I ain't talking about Mitch Trubisky either. The Broncos have hired George Patan to the position of general manager to a six-year contract after Patan spent his past 13 years in the Vikings front office. Was that a good decision?
I think it was. He seemed like he's pretty highly regarded across the league, interviewed with a bunch of different teams. Actually, he was interviewed by several teams last season. I believe I saw a stat where in the last 10 years with the Vikings, he's had a hand in drafting like 13 Pro Bowl players. So he appears in my mind to be a good talent evaluator, and I think this is something. I think he'll be a great benefit to the Denver Broncos. Former Auburn defensive coordinator Kevin Steele is joining the Tennessee Volunteers as a defensive assistant. Do you think he'll have much of an impact?
Yes, absolutely. It's actually kind of smart by Tennessee. I like what they did here. Usually, right, these guys, they turn them into analysts, which is cool because you get to pay them less. But the problem is they're not allowed to coach. So even if you had an analyst, let's say you had he played defense. So let's say the defensive coordinator sucks for Tennessee and they need to make an adjustment. Now you can just pull Kevin Steele in and make adjustments while the game is going. But if you had an analyst, you would have to wait until the game is over because you're not allowed to move up an analyst during the game. So it's pretty smart. It's a little different than what most people do. But I kind of like what they're doing now. I ain't mad at you, Tennessee. I see you trying to do something other than recruiting violations. Recently in New York, the New York Mets acquired Carlos Carrasco, saying his new team has the potential to make the playoffs and reach the World Series. Do you agree with him?
I think people need to ask Carrasco if you do know you went to the Mets, right? Not the Yankees. I think that's first and foremost. But I mean, I guess if you just, you're talking purely on paper, because, their rotation appears to be really solid. And, Lindor is he's going to be, a mainstay in the middle of that order. And I guess you could maybe see some potential, but a lot of teams have potential. So, I mean, don't give me this playoff World Series, predictions when you can't even sniff the playoffs lately, So I think there's a little bit too much too early from Carrasco. The Seahawks will not retain offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer after 3 seasons, despite Seattle scoring the most points in franchise history this season. Are you surprised by that move?
Man, who the hell is the Seahawks GM? This is ridiculous. Like, what was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to do? The dude then took the offense to the next level, and you mad at him because you can't control the trenches? It's his fault. How about you get him some guys that can control the trenches? I don't know. I was surprised. I thought he was doing well there as the offensive coordinator. I don't think it's his fault of the recent failures. But somebody had to be a scapegoat, and this looked like a scapegoat move to your boy. Oklahoma City Thunder point guard George Hill questioned the logic of some of the NBA coronavirus protocols. What do you think of his comments?
Hey, come on, George. We're only asking for 15 days to slow the spread. No, I think some of these things, they don't make much sense at all. I mean, you can go out there and, sweat 48 minutes, next to these other guys. And then, I think I read something where now, you have to have a mask on the sideline at all times. Like if you just checked out of the game, you get a quote unquote cool down period. it's some of these things are just ridiculous. It's like we're trying to, just eradicate, positive cases, and that's just not going to happen, guys. But, you keep best of luck to you, with your 15 days, which are now approaching 15 months. The Louisiana Monroe has hired Rich Rodriguez as their associate head coach and offensive coordinator. Seems a little bit of a demotion given his resume, don't you think?
Hell no. Give me the place where Rich Rodriguez went and won. Like, you can't give it to me. And you know what? I'm happy we didn't hire him back in 2007, because that's who we were supposed to hire instead of Nick Saban. And I guarantee you what, we ain't talking about no damn dynasty and we hire him. So, no, absolutely not. You got to win. The name of the game is winning. And if you go and be a head coach at a bunch of programs and keep losing and losing and losing, hey, I got this offense coordinator spot for you. Maybe if you do something here, we might decide to give you another head coaching job, but absolutely not. His resume, like you said, it speaks for itself. The Chicago White Sox have signed former Oakland A's closer Liam Hendricks to a four-year, $54 million deal. What do you make of this signing?
I like it. Most things the White Sox have done in the past couple of years, I like it. They just keep, accumulating talent. They're building a really solid roster. They made the playoffs for the first time in, several years. The only thing I haven't liked they've done is they fired Rick Rennery and they brought in Mr. DUI himself, Tony La Russa. But, you can't hit a home run every at bat, but in this particular signing, I think it was another big win for him. The Eagles fired head coach Doug Peterson earlier in the week. What do you think was the biggest reason Peterson is gone?
The quarterback position, the way he handled both quarterbacks. I mean, listen, Carson Wentz ain't happy with him. He think he on some bull jive. And then the guy you pissed him off with, he comes in the game, and then you be on some bull jive with him and bring in Nate Suttonfield. So the way he handled this quarterback position this year got him the pink slip. Holla at your boy. Last one. Warriors and Nuggets from the Mile High City tomorrow night. Who you got winning, Jay?
Nuggets win this one at home. The Joker's averaging a triple-double. He keeps it up, and it's a long night for the rookie, James Wiseman.
All right. That concludes today's Drinking Wisdom. I'm Cody Ward.
I'm Jay Wise.
And I'm Nathan Drinking. And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we going to do. I'm going to miss college football, baby.